Oh, let's try and fix that. And that one. Oh. Hush, hush, hush. Seriously, come on. Play fair. Channel. It does help if I push the right button. There we go. Good evening, everybody. My name is Osa. This is FS19, and we are on Ungetsheim, playing a start from scratch with seasons at 7:30 at night. Oh, which side of the road do we drive on? Probably this side. And we are finishing off a contract that we started last week. My tractor is having go fast issues. Oh, that's incredibly lousy. We'll try third person because I can't see a darn thing. So yes, when last we left off, it is day 8 late fall. There is one more day of late fall. Actually, I'm going to pull over and let that car drive past. Seasons. So we're allowed to harvest for the entirety of tomorrow as well. So it's not as bad as it would seem. But I don't think there's much left of this field to do, so we want to get it over and done with. I want to take the next left and head all the way down there. Oh, this is somewhere here. Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure what the problem with the tractor is, because supposedly it's capable of 21 miles an hour, but it's just not doing that these days. It's not like it needs a service. Hail team, good evening, and Captain Zank, welcome to the stream, guys. Yep, it is Thursday. Michigan is not locked down, so there is dance class tonight, so I get a couple of hours on my own to do whatever I want. So, hey, you can watch me play Farm Sim. Hey, long hauler, good evening. So yeah, I actually downloaded the farming agency version of where does the road go? Of Oakfield Farm. I'm not going to be transferring to it this week, but I have it loaded. I've gone into it a couple of times just to check on a few things. But that might be... I might transfer to that map anyway. Although it's going to be interesting because the sheep eat lots of different stuff that I'm not used to. Like clover and carrots or sugar beets. So sugar beets is not going to be a problem because we're growing those. But I might want to pallet up a couple of 1,000 litres so that I can store them better than just on the ground in a huge giant pile. But that will be some way to go into getting precision farming on that map. Because I'm pretty much sure Oxygen David's not going to modify the map in any way, but the farming agency does intend to. So if we go to their version of the map, then okay. yeah, if we go to their version of their map, then when they do the update, we'll be able to switch, yeah, just switch on precision farming. Okay. Oh, I see what I did. There is no... what is it? I stopped a field early when I pulled the tractor over. But I think there is so little left on this field that we are... This is pretty much our wheat now. Ugh. Also been playing a bit of World of Warships lately, just to get the winter missions completed. And this morning they've done a complete rework of the captain's skills. So I've only got about 175 captains to reallocate the skills for, which that's going to be a big deal. Because they've made some of the skills more expensive, some of the skills less expensive, deleted some of the skills for some of the ship types, so as a cruiser you can't spec into a secondary build and extend the range of your secondary guns, which can come in handy at times. Normally I'd do a secondary build because I used to want extended AA, but they disabled that. Oh, there we go, contract's finished, nice. So now all the rest is ours. But they took away the extended range on the anti-aircraft guns, but it was still kind of nice on some of my ships to have a slightly extended range on the secondaries, even if it wasn't extreme range. You know, a low tier cruiser with, you know, 7-ish kilometre range secondaries means that any destroyer that comes visiting has to get that sort of range to shoot you with torpedoes. Let's go get that piece of wheat over there, just because it's mine. There we go. So I had a feeling this row was actually wider than it is. So this is easily going to fit in the truck. Yes, fortunately I downloaded that before he pulled it. But, and I don't know the details on it. As far as I understand, he has some licensed names on the map which you can't put on console. So I don't think it's specifically these, but things like, you know, McDonald's restaurants or KFC restaurants or stuff like that, you have to use generic brands. And so I think he thought he got all of them, and Giants went in and checked and said, oh no, we found some more, but wouldn't tell him which ones they found or where they were. So yeah, he's sort of, I'm trying to remember where they all are, and you know, you're just being, you know, if you found it, tell me and I'll remove it. And he's perfectly happy to remove it, but then it all blew up. So, and like you say, you'll probably work it out. I mean, it's happened in the past, but I think shenanigans like this, and it's probably down to the person who ended up doing the testing. Some of them are probably quite reasonable, and some of them might just have a bad day. And okay, that is done. Nice. But he's not the first map maker to just get upset with Giant's attitude. I'm guessing it's one of the reasons why Bullet Bill doesn't do maps anymore. Potentially. And again, I don't know for definite, but he just decided I'm not making maps for Farm Sim 19. However, he did make a map for Farm Sim 17 since Farm Sim 19 was introduced, but it's obviously not on the Farm Sim 17 mod hub. You have to go and get it from wherever he hid it. Now, I've moved on from Farm Sim 17, so I haven't actually bothered checking out that map or looking for it. But knowing, how good Bullet Bill is with maps, and much the same as Oxygen David, it's probably a very good map. Okay, that's all done. Oops, I have my steering wheel upside down because I'm turning. Going to connect them together. Excuse me. No. Stop. Okay, lights off. Engine off. Ooh, nice. Okay, I'm going to leave the harvester here. We'll take this up to the store and sell it because it's money. I could put it in the yard silos, actually. Should we check on that? Because it's been so long. We could just put it in the yard silos and call the contract done. Get paid, that's good. And was it here? Crop moisture, we'll turn that back on again. See, I remembered that much. Okay, we will put the grain in our silo. Yeah. Where am I going? I am just driving across somebody else's field because that's the sort of farmer I am. Oh, this is the field that had the potatoes in it that we harvested for hours. Yeah, I didn't nab the Millennial Farmer map before that got deleted, but yeah, I mean, I've heard various comments around the place that obviously with a game like Farm Sim, it is the modders that basically extend the life of the game. If all we had to play with was Ravenport, Fellsbrunn, Estancia Pacho, and the new one, the Swiss one, people would get bored and stop playing. So you need the mod makers, but you need good mod makers, and if you discourage them, then things get bad. Hello, hi, and welcome to the stream. And late fall in Eastern Europe somewhere, possibly Germany, I don't know. Ungetsheim is the map. As I said before, I'm kind of liking this map, but oh, that's a what's it? A blue Great Demand that's blinking away. $4.99 or $14.99? I mean, I'm thinking of it because it's got some of the equipment that I've kind of said this is what's missing from potato farming. And I've mentioned it before. I decided I wanted to watch a YouTube video of live people doing a potato harvest, and they had basically just something that was hauled behind the tractor that hauled up or pulls up the potatoes, shakes the dirt off them, and just windrows them on one side of the machinery. And so you go down 2 rows, and you've harvested 2 meters of potatoes in width, but they've all ended up in 1 row, so you end up with 4 meters, which is great. And then all you need is something that's a meter and a half wide or less to go through and suck up the windrow. And so having harvesting equipment that only has tiny working width isn't such a big deal. Now, that's all well and good, but we don't have that. So you've got our harvesting stuff. If you're doing the potato harvest, this is 1.8 meters wide. It's basically 1 or 2 rows there, and it takes ages. Now, it's got a reasonable size capacity considering the thing. What's the sugar beet one? Sugar beet one has only 6,000, so this one you have to empty far more frequently, but it's got 3 meter working width. So it's one of the reasons why I prefer beets to potatoes, because of the working width of the tractor stuff. If you go to the self-propelled beet technology, this you get you've got to get a header for it, but 45,000 litres. If we go for the header, because I'm an idiot and didn't check that beet technology there, that one, HR12, has a 5.4 meter working width. So that's a 5.4 meter working width. This is 3. It's not such a big deal, but when you compare the 1.8 of the tractor haul thing with this, which has a 3 meter working, well, I guess it's 3 meter working width, but the capacity on this is really bad. It's why I prefer to do beets, because the capacity of the harvester is more, and the working width is substantially more. Okay, I'm going to leave the trailer there. I think we'll turn that off and trip over our feet. How's the chickens? We haven't checked on the chicken. Oh, chickens need food. Crap. Chickens need food. Okay, we should deal with that immediately. Let's drop that. Didn't realise the chickens were quite so hungry, so fortunately we have that little box on the back. And pipes on that side. Okay. Wheat, yes. And we're probably not going to need half that amount. Okay. I believe believe the food goes over here. Yay. I don't think that does an auto tip, so we have to do it that way. Not the greatest, but hey, it does the job. So, oh, we still need more. Okay. Turn that, turn that. And there we go, pouring it all over the floor. Unfortunately, I don't have a shovel, so lower the thing. And in theory, I should just be able to scoop that up, maybe. That would be no. Well, shucks. How do I fix that? Or do I open that even more? Oh, there we go. Shut that up. Tip it level. Lift it off the ground. So, yeah, how to do farming without a front loader. Like I said, the last episode of this series went out on the 11th of December. Now, hopefully with Michigan being unlocked for business, we should be good. I'm going to hope that worked. We should have dance class every Thursday from now onwards, which means I can stream this to completion. I can figure out what the heck I'm doing. Ugh. So put that on the ground. I might put that in the shed the wrong way round for now. Okay, let's review what's going on now. So we have a bunch of stuff to sell, which prices should be good. Third day of fall. I think we also had oats. Day of fall. Canola tomorrow. It looks like canola tomorrow, so I believe we have canola. Yeah. So we sell the canola tomorrow, or the rest of it, third day of fall. And then we're really done with business for the year. I have oilseed radish here. We've planted this with wheat, this with canola. Everything's growing. We have a layer of fertilizer. Yeah, I really screwed up this. What I should have been doing was ploughing the oilseed radish and planting this field, and planting this field with oilseed radish. Instead, what I did was I ploughed in the oilseed radish on this field, planted this field with a money-making crop, and didn't plough that in. So we got all sorts of messed up. But it is what it is. We do have a good amount of money. So probably after we've sold our wheat, we will... we don't have much to do tomorrow. So we'll sleep for 8 hours. Hope that was enough. Nope. 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay. I'll jump over to the harvester, turn the lights on. There we go. And try and find my way out. Oh, and there's the snow layer. Okay, that was quick. Well, to get marginally political, the President of the United States does not have the power to order anybody in states to do anything. It's something Jimmy Carter had a challenge with when he was trying to mandate 55-mile-an-hour speed limit because of the oil crisis. And he basically said, yeah, everybody needs to, we need to reduce the national speed limit to 55 miles an hour. And his advisors basically said, you can't do that, sir. And so he said, okay, so how do we make the states make their state speed limit, maximum speed limit, 55 miles an hour? Well, we give them money for road repairs. Okay, fine. We'll tell the state governors that if they don't reduce their speed limit to 55 miles an hour, we will discontinue federal funding for their roads. And that's how they got that passed. Many of the states just said, fine, yep, 55 miles an hour, not a problem. I believe Montana just said, we don't need your money, we can maintain our own roads, so fine by us. And they didn't reduce their speed limit, but everybody else did. And that's why there was a 55 mile an hour speed limit from late 70s till, in some places, into the 90s. I think Ohio was 1998 before they said, yeah, you can go faster than 55. So Joe doesn't have the power to tell everybody, oh, you've got to wear a mask, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. But he can persuade the state governors to mandate things. Now, the thing is our state governor's already been told she's not allowed to do that, but she's still doing it, so there's that. But I'm sure Joe doesn't have to say, do it or else. She'll be perfectly willing to say, yeah, okay, I'll do it because I've been doing it for the last 10 months. So it's actually quite nice that we're not entirely locked down. While she did relieve some of the lockdown restrictions, she did tell the restaurants they can't open for eat-in. So if you want to eat food from a restaurant, you have to pick up or get it delivered, which many people are not so happy with. Now, where is my yard? That's not my yard. Okay. I think it's the next one. I'm going to hit the lamppost and that's going to be a problem. Oh, that is a big problem. I have totally messed this up. And now he's totally messed things up. No, dude! You are an idiot. Seriously. Well, you did it to yourself. Good grief. Okay, fine. Traffic off, because traffic is stupid sometimes. Traffic off. Thank you. Yes, I made the mistake, but really. Oh, and I can't get too close to the wall because the back end swings out when you're in a harvester, so let's see if we can... Okay. Oh, seriously? Come on. Quit messing. There we go. We're past the lamppost. Yay! Okay. Where I should have driven in is, I believe, this one here. This is our yard. Goody goody. And I think we can park the header trailer right by this shed. Oop, and prang the back of the harvester on there. Okay, let's put this thing away. And I think we can probably fast wind through... Oh, hang on, canola needs sold, doesn't it? So, put the harvester here. This is quite a big shed when all you've got is a tiny number of equipments. Off. So we'll close that. We'll open this. Yeah, I think even then it's... Yeah, we're now to the point, at least some are saying, the only way you're going to do it is to shut everybody, basically house arrest for everybody, for a very long, weeks or months,